This is Mystique and I welcome you to my digital sacred space. Today we are looking at what is your main character energy, and I was actually inspired to do this reading because I saw the same reading done by 𝓲𝓬𝓬. So some of you might be familiar with her, but she's one of my favorite tarot readers on YouTube. I think she's so accurate and she has a really beautiful, confident, yellowy kind of energy, which I really love and appreciate. So yeah, this was actually her idea. I think she already has a reading titled what is your main character energy, and I thought it would be a great idea to do a similar reading for you, for my collective. So a lot of you liked it, so I decided that yeah, why not do that. So we have 3 piles today and I've already picked out the cards for the 3 piles. So with the pile number 1 we have Page of Swords, this right here. Pile number 2 we have King of Swords, and pile number 3 we have Knight of Wands. If you want to look at what the cards look like up close, this is what they look like. This is pile number 1. Yes, it does have some gold foil. I just heard somebody think like, oh, it has gold foil. And this is the King of Swords. If you're wondering what tarot deck this is called the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. They also have a holographic version of this, but I haven't purchased that yet. I do have the gold foil edition, which is this one, Knight of Wands, which is pile 3. Sensing a lot of like nervous energy. I'm sensing there is something new coming. Like I feel like some of you, or at least one of you, is excited about something, and I feel like you just got a good news or a promotion, or like a really big news. Like I'm seeing the tarot card Wheel of Fortune. That's what Spirit is showing me. They're showing me the card Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like for a lot of the collective that's clicked on today's reading, there is some good news that has already come to you or is going to come to you immediately or soon after when you've watched this reading. So you can pause the video here and make your pile selection if you have not yet. I am going to proceed with my prayer as I always do. You can stay for the prayer if you want to. You don't have to. You can directly skip to your piles. That's okay as well. But I just like to offer a prayer before every reading as a thank you, and just to get permission from your guides to do the reading for you. So let's begin. Take a deep breath with me. Exhale. If you are suffering from anxiety, or you're worried about the future, or you're having panic attacks, just take the next 20-25 minutes and relax and watch this reading. This reading is definitely going to help you in some way. I will make sure that I tap into your spirit guides and help you alleviate some of the anxiety. If there is anything you're worried about, I will make sure that I ask Spirit what you can do about it, or if there are any solutions they want to offer. So do not worry, my love. The next 25 minutes, just relax, because we are here to tap into your main character energy. We are not here to worry. We are here to celebrate you, okay? So stand tall, stand firm in your beauty that I see and sense in you. I feel like a lot of you might not see yourselves as beautiful, or as handsome, whatever adjective you want to apply, but you are physically attractive for sure. I invite with divine love pile number 1, 2 and 3 spirit guides, angels, ancestors to stay with me throughout the reading and help me give them accurate and precise messages, guidance, anything that you want to communicate them, anything that they want to hear at this time. My intention for this reading is to be a relaxing and enlightening reading for the viewer. So if there is anything you want to say to the viewer, please let me know. I will make sure that I communicate it. I offer myself as a medium with utmost humility and love in my heart. It is an absolute pleasure for me to do this reading for my collective and my soul family that's watching this reading right now. I want to give my love to every single one of you that watch all of my readings and that have been with me for a long time, and also all of the new viewers. Welcome and thank you for being part of my soul family. I hope you have a great time here and that you have as much fun watching and listening to your readings as I do creating and designing, making them. I welcome you in my heart. I welcome your energies in this space so I can proceed to do the reading for you. I request your protection, spirit guides, to protect this collective, to protect this space and this reading from any harmful negative entities, energies, evil eyes. Please have them return back to their sender. And please protect my collective from such malicious intentions and energies. I now proceed to do this reading and I offer my gratitude and my thanks. Thank you, pile number 1, 2 and 3 for being here. I will see you at your reading. I cherish you, I love you, and I thank you for being you and for being part of my soul family. You are always welcome here because this is a safe space. I will now see you at your reading. Bye. Hello and welcome, my loves. If you chose pile number 1, you chose the Page of Swords. Now the very first thing that I'm getting from this card is that you are embarking on a new journey, and I feel like you've gained some spiritual insight or wisdom recently, and I feel like you're looking back, but it's not in a way to look at the obstacles you've overcome. You're looking at your past in terms of what have I learned from this, and you're not looking at, I feel like it's not paining you anymore, and your direction is forward. I feel like you finally decided to take a step forward in your life, and that is what is manifesting a lot of success for you. That is also what I'm feeling, but I feel like success might not be your priority or not something that you're focused on right now. I feel like the fact that you've moved on from the past or whatever this energy was that was not serving you, that itself was great. That itself, I think that freedom means more to you than success or riches I do feel like you want to be successful, but you're not obsessed or chasing it. I feel like you're content with just taking 1 step forward, 2 steps forward as you feel comfortable. You're not chasing, you're not running, you're not outrunning. You're not trying to outrun or supersede someone else, because you realize that this life journey is only yours and there's no competition here. We're not here to compete with each other. We are here together, and every single person has their own journey, has their own life. So I feel like you finally understood that and you're not competing anymore. Now, I was going to pick out tarot cards for you, but Spirit told me to pick out oracle cards for you. So I'm going to start with asking the Medicine Woman Oracle, what is your main character energy and how you can tap into it. What is your main character energy? Pile number 1. Okay. Getting these two actually. Yeah. So let's see what we have. Wow, this is beautiful. You have the feminine cycle. I'm going to tell you now, this deck is one of the most potent decks I have, and it's one of my favorite decks as well. It's just so beautiful. I cannot get over it. But yeah, since I picked this card out first, with the eye being here, there's something, I'm being taken to black holes, like actual black holes in space. And there was a saint in India. I don't know if he was a saint. I'm forgetting the name of him, but I think he was called Aryabhatta. And no, wait, he invented zero. Wait a second. I'm not recollecting the name of him, but there was this Indian, I don't want to call him saint, but there was this Indian man in ancient India, and he had already tapped into the energy of black holes in space, and he wrote about it, and he actually made the calculations and everything. He was a mathematician, I think. And people wondered, scientists came to visit him from all over the world, and he was made fun of and ridiculed. What are you talking about? There's no such thing as black holes. But he'd already spoken about it way before other scientists, like Western scientists, discovered that there was such a thing as black holes, and black holes actually do exist. And people asked him, like, how did you make these calculations? How did you, on what basis are these calculations? And he said something. He said, my Devi told me, which means Devi in India means goddess. Now we have immense respect for gods and goddesses here. If you are familiar with the Hindu religion, there is a lot of gods and goddesses that are worshipped. It's not so much that the god or goddess is worshipped, it is more the energy of that god that is being worshipped. So you'll see that every god or goddess has a certain trait or a certain personality or a certain specific energy. And in India, they believe that if you worship that, if you hold that in your heart as sacred, that you will slowly evolve to that or become that, because whatever your goal is, you are slowly always reaching towards it. So I see that you are somebody like that. Like, you can download genius information, that you are way ahead of your time. People around you might not understand what you're talking about, just like this man was ridiculed, where people didn't even know about black holes because the concept did not exist. I can't even find his name on the internet actually. But I'd read about him in one of the Indian books in libraries. And yeah, I feel like there is, your third eye chakra might be really active, or even if it is not, I feel like you are somehow able to download a lot of divine spiritual information effortlessly. I feel like when you ask a question, the information is just given to you immediately. I feel like your energy is very open to divine guidance, like to receiving divine guidance and spiritual guidance. So your spirit guides are working closely with you. So no matter what your gender is that you're watching, I feel this is a feminine energy, right? because feminine energy is a lot about receiving. It's not desperate, it's not chasing, it's not forward moving. It's very stable, secure, safe, soft, feminine, gentle. So if there is a change in my voice, you guys, I have been having the worst cold, so that is why. I'm sorry if that is bothersome to you, but yeah, just wanted to let you know. I also feel like with the 9 being here, I'm being taken to Cancer placements. I don't think Cancer is a 9 sign in the zodiac. No. But for some reason, I am being taken to Cancer energy. So you could be Cancer watching this. You don't have to be. But I'm just sensing that there is a strong feminine energy that you have. And if you don't have this, there is an energy like this that is around you, that is protecting you. So this could be the, if you don't resonate with what I'm saying and you feel like, oh, I'm not like that at all, then this could be a spirit guide with this energy that is watching over you. For some of you, I feel like the energy that I mentioned could be a female ancestor of yours that is watching over your whole lineage. Like I see her kind of looking like this, like looking down towards all of the generations and all of the people. Oh, like this family had this child and this child has this family, and she's looking over everything. She's like all encompassing. You see how this woman here, this figure here, has an energy that is extending out and kind of extending out and enveloping everything. And I feel like your spirit guide's energy is like that. Like her energy is very extended and it's very big, and her energy kind of holds you in her embrace, whether you realize it or not. I don't know. Maybe some of your family members have had some freak incidents or incidents that did not make sense, like coincidences, you know, miracles, something like that, something of that sort. It was this female ancestor that was protecting you and watching over you. So that's very interesting to me, because I actually asked what is your main character energy, and the female ancestor is coming through. And I feel like you know how every single person has a specific trait or specific set of personality traits, you want to call them, or talents, you want to call them, that makes them unique, right? And I feel like there is something very specific, something to do with feminine energy, something to do with divine feminine energy, something about downloading spiritual wisdom that is passed down in your ancestry. So I feel like right now, you watching this, you are like the current generation of this family line. Some of you could have children, you don't have to have them, but I feel like most of you who picked pile number 1 are young, because we have Page of Swords here. But you could be older, you could be in your 60s, 70s. I'm just sensing that most of you are maybe in your 20s, 30s, 40s. That's what I'm sensing. And then we have 8, 9. Look at that. And I feel like that is your main character energy. It's because I asked for the energy to be tapped into your energy, and not some physical superficial traits like, oh, what makes you unique? It's your face, it's your hair. And I didn't want this reading to be like that. I have done a similar reading, I think. I don't know, it might be available on my channel. You'll have to scroll down. But I wanted this reading to be more about who you are and why you're here. This snake right here, you see how wait, I'll hold it up to the camera so that you can see. You see how the snake is eating its own tail, right? Now there is the molecular structure of benzene was actually determined after looking at this snake, because in chemistry, if you studied molecular structures, they always have a linear line, like C, then H, C, like carbon compounds, right? So you have a carbon chain which is linear. And they were just wondering, like, what is the structure of benzene? We don't get it. What is the structure of benzene? And then maybe they thought, oh, wait a second, what if it is not a linear molecular structure? What if it's actually a cyclic molecular structure, right? And that is when they invented this hexagonal shaped molecular structures with the carbon chains. And I think these were called aromatic compounds. I think these are called aromatic compounds. I don't know, I haven't studied chemistry in a long time, but I'm just sensing that. I feel like you're here, like one of the main character energy that you have is that you're here to do something absolutely different from what the collective is doing. Like, you are here, your vision and like your energy, it's here to be expressed in a way that's never been done before, that's never been seen before. I feel like you are from a family line, or you are from an ancestry line that is extremely specific and unique. I feel like every single person who has incarnated, like every single energy who chose to reincarnate in your family line, including you, were really specific about what light codes they wanted to bring to this new earth, what time they wanted to be born in, what spiritual lessons they had to learn in their life. Excuse me. So that is very specific, and the feminine energy is very strong here. So even if you are a man watching this, there is a feminine energy that is looking after you. Honestly, it feels like a fierce mother kind of energy. For some of you, it's a fierce mother kind of energy. For some of you, it's the divine feminine energy itself, very goddess energy. I hope I explained that correctly. Hold on, there is some more with these cards. With the body here being depicted completely in the color red, it's reminding me of blood. It's in your blood. Your main character energy is in your blood. It's your bloodline with the 8 here. I feel like it's in your bloodline. It's in your bloodline. Okay, your spirit guides are speaking to me very clearly. They just told me to grab a tarot deck, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use this deck again. This is the Ethereal Visions. I'm going to say to them. Okay. Okay. Wow, we have the Hierophant reversed. What did I say about coming here to break traditions, coming here to break patterns? Like, you're here to do something different. I feel like the Hierophant upright talks about being traditional in a way, talks about being structured, being having a certain way of doing things, you know. And I feel like you're here to do things in a structured way, but in a completely unique way. Like, whatever is happening in the world, you are not here for it. I feel like your soul mission even might be something else that is like completely different. It will benefit the new earth, but I feel like it's completely different. Like, you could be Pleiadian or Andromedan star seeds. I just heard Pleiadian, so I don't know much personally about the Pleiadian energy, but that's what I heard, so I have to say it. We have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, I did say that you are moving on, that you are healing from something in your past. And I feel like it was something painful. Either you've had like a painful childhood or a rough childhood. I'm not sensing that all of you had abusive parents, but I'm sensing that there was somebody authoritative that tried to take advantage of you, manipulate you, gaslight you, abuse you. There's something going on in your past, and this energy did not have the best intentions for you. You see how both of these cards are looking back and in the same direction, right? And the gender is actually changed. Here we have a female, here we have a man. So I feel like this was for you to learn about your own self. I feel like if you had not gone through this painful period, you would not have known who you are in a way. And you see how her sword is upwards, but his wand, I don't know what this is called, like you use that to row the boat, but it's downwards and it's inside the water. So I feel like there's a part of you, only the smallest part of you, that's stuck in the past. I don't want to say stuck, you're not stuck. It's just that, you know, sometimes the past washes off slowly. Like, it's kind of like when you wash your hands, you can't expect the oil to be gone in the first second itself, right? Like, you have to kind of rub your hands and clean it with soap and everything, and then it kind of starts to fade away slowly, and then the whole oiliness will leave. And after you dry your hands with a towel, your hands will be completely dry and there will be no germs or oil on it. So I feel like it's a bit like that. Like, except you're not washing your hands, you're washing yourself off of your past. You are washing off of this energy from your soul and from your energy. Like, you are disintegrating and separating. So this could have been a painful period for you, but I see you stepping into your main character energy. Like, this is it. This is it. So this is a huge confirmation. If you have stumbled on this reading, you are about to step into the main character energy. I feel like because you've already taken the steps to do it, so it's not even like Spirit has any specific guidance for you on what to do. They're like, they know. 𝒴𝑚 knows. They're doing it. So that's what I'm sensing for you. Oh, just when I say that, you have the Queen of Wands. Of course, with the Queen of Wands being here, that is exactly what I said, right? Like, you're already doing it. You have already taken the steps for your well-being, and Spirit is proud of you for putting yourself first. I feel like there is some gift in your blood or in your bloodline, or that has been passed down to you from like generations before a family line, and it is a spiritual gift. It is a psychic ability, maybe like clairsentience or clairvoyance or even clairaudience for some of you. For some of you, it could be something relating to the third eye. You're highly clairvoyant or clairsentient. For some of you, I'm hearing that it's more audio, so it could be clairaudience. So it's really like a half thing. Like, half of you are clairsentient, clairvoyant, and then other half of you are clairaudience. So it's like a completely different spiritual ability. But I just wanted to mention both of those in case you don't resonate. So yeah, take each one. You could be a mix. You could be a mix of all three. But yeah, it really depends on you and how much information you can download and how much information you're comfortable with, how much can your body handle, how much can your heart handle. And yeah, that's what I'm sensing. With the Queen of Wands here, I'm also sensing with the sunflower, they're taking me to the sunflower, right? Now look at this. There is a black cat here, right? Now black cats are usually seen as like something ominous. Like, if they cross your path, you're not supposed to cross that path because they have crossed it and something bad is going to happen to you. It's one of the superstition. I feel like some of you might not be aware, but that's not actually, I don't know if the superstition is true, but I feel like your past has that energy. I'm so sorry guys, I'm having trouble speaking. I feel like your past has that kind of energy where you try to leave or cross a line somehow. But when I say cross a line, I don't mean this in a negative way. I just mean like, if people were trying to evade your boundary or break your boundary, you just try to have boundaries, and you were not successful completely because they were always invading your privacy, always invading you. And then you took a firm stand, like, listen, I'm not going to allow you to treat me like this. Like, please treat me with some respect if you're going to speak to me, or else don't speak to me. And I feel like that in itself is shifting so much intergenerational karma from your bloodline. I feel like you're literally cleaning and purging not just yourself but your whole bloodline. That's what I'm feeling. Of course, we have the Emperor here. Wow, you have the most positive cards, you guys. Hold on a second. Now the cold wasn't so bad in the morning, but now all of a sudden I feel like my throat is kind of choked. You could have been forced to stay silent, or there was you were forced to do something that was extremely traumatic and painful to you. And I feel like you're just now stepping with the Emperor and Queen of Wands being here. You guys realize, right? That is the ultimate main character energy. The Emperor, the zodiac signs associated with the Emperor are Aries, and the Queen of Wands is actually like a Sagittarius, Leo, fire wands kind of energy. So this is the ultimate confirmation. If you have stumbled on this reading, you are definitely stepping into your main character energy for sure. And I feel like you didn't know. Some of you knew, but you didn't know. Some of you didn't know that you are stepping into your main character energy. You are proceeding to put yourself first, and Spirit is like, just keep doing what they're doing. They don't really need advice, because we have the Emperor and Queen of Wands and Ace of Cups here. Like, things are just going to take care of themselves as you take care of your own self-concept. And having a lot of trouble speaking in pile 1. And then you have the Ace, which is also like the first minor arcana. The aces represent new beginnings, but I'm seeing this as a gift. For some of you, it could be a romantic proposal that's coming into your life. Now, what I'm seeing, this is very specific, okay? But what I saw is that because some of you didn't receive love in your childhood, you got over obsessed with the idea of having romantic love, and the more you tried to chase it, the more it left you. So you felt abandoned, you felt left out, and maybe you developed some coping mechanisms as to break off the relationship first, so you don't have to go through the pain of them breaking up with you if you do it first, right? So it's like you keep people at an arm's length and you don't fully allow them in because of your fears and your trauma. But I'm seeing you work through all of this. I'm seeing you work through your fears. I'm seeing you stand tall with the Emperor and Queen of Wands here. I'm seeing you doing your best to leave your past completely behind and purge yourself and your bloodline. So the inner work that you're doing isn't just benefiting you. I'm hearing ancestral healing. It's benefiting all of your ancestors, and I feel like this feminine ancestor in particular, this feminine Queen of Wands energy, is watching over you strongly and protecting you strongly. So it could be that you are more of an Emperor, like going from page directly to an Emperor, right? Emperor is the major arcana. It's not even a court card. This is not a king, right? The Emperor is actually the major arcana. So you're going from page to the king, to the Emperor directly, and the Queen is helping you. This female ancestor, this feminine energy ancestor, is helping you. And you used to be obsessed with the idea of love, some of you, but you're not obsessed with it anymore, because I just heard the word limerence. You can look up what it means, and yeah, I'll leave it to you. I can't explain it in this video, but there could be a romantic proposal coming when you least expect it. There could be some gift coming. If this is not a romantic proposal, there could be some kind of psychic gift that kind of stumbles into your lap, and you're like, wait a second, how can I do this? I can just tap energy. How can I do this? It was a little bit like that with my watercolor readings. I was like, wait a second, how can I do this? I don't even know. Like, this literally doesn't exist in the world. How can I do this? And I realized that I don't really have an answer to it. It just came so naturally to me. Yeah, and then one day I just woke up and I realized, oh my god, I really can do this, and people actually do love my art. So I feel like it could be something like that with you as well. It's something unique. Like, my watercolor readings are very unique, right? You won't find them anywhere else. So yeah, I feel like with you it's also something similar. You have a very unique gift, and people are going to be surprised, like, oh my god, this exists in the world. You know, I never expected, I never saw it coming, that people that you do what you do, or you are who you are, and you're powerful. Pile number 1. So I hope you remember that, and this was it for your reading. This is what your main character energy is. I hope this reading made you happy, and consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know if you have any suggestions for readings, and I am booking personal readings. So if you have if you want to get any personal reading from me, you can email me. I'll mention my email in the description, the first line, so you don't have any issues finding it. And I want to say thank you again for all of your donations, support. I've gotten so many personal reading requests already. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your tarot reader. It makes my heart so full and happy. I didn't even know that so many of you loved my work and my art, so thank you so much. And yeah, it's always an honor to do a reading for you. If you are not part of my soul family, I hope you do subscribe and become a part of my soul family, because I would love to have you here. And with that being said, I'll either see you in my next reading. If not, I thank you so much for watching this one. Bye. Hello and welcome, my loves. If you chose pile number 2, you chose the King of Swords. I'm feeling a bit of hesitance, as if you're trying to keep me out from your energy. I'm not saying that you're doing this consciously or intentionally. I'm just feeling like a certain coldness to you. Maybe you are new to tarot readings and maybe you find them I don't know, like not accurate, or like superstitious or nonsense even. I do feel like some of you are not new and that you are actually surprised because these tarot readings are actually accurate, and you're like, how does that even work? But there is a certain aloofness to your energy. I feel like you're not letting me fully tap into your energy. So pile number 2, spirit guides, please allow me to give them any messages that I need to give them. Please allow me to say whatever it is that you want me to tell them, whatever it is that you want to communicate. And I will not invade your energy, pile number 2. I will not force myself into your energy, but I will pick out cards, since this is a tarot reading. So I am going to start with oracle cards first. This is the Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. So for pile number 2, spirit guides. Pile number 2, spirit guides, please. We have this one, and we have this one. So you have lighten up, yeah. Breathe through the tension. Okay. Yeah, there is a certain restrictedness that I'm feeling. Like your energy is literally like this, you know. For some people, their energy is like this. Like it's expanding. It's not contracted. It's not in a state of like tension, right? It's like flowing like water, you know. I feel like you might be the kind of people that are very serious, and that you might think that tarot readings are illogical, because obviously, like, if there's a person who's saying, oh, they can channel divine guidance from the spiritual realm, it sounds like absolute nonsense. I do realize that, but yeah, I do feel like there is a certain seriousness to your energy. There's a certain, and you do need to lighten up, because that's the card that's coming out for you. We have the full moon in Scorpio. So you could be Scorpio placements, you could have Scorpio placements. I'm also sensing some Capricorn from you, actually. Capricorn and some air energy. So spirit, I think spirit is asking you to have fun. I feel like you are not the kind of people that have fun. Even when you're listening to this, you might be like, fun? I can't have fun. I have to work hard right now. You might be thinking that way. Not all of you, but for some of you, that's what I felt. But human beings are not here on the planet to just expand, right? Just to evolve and work hard. Like, we are not here just for that. We are also here to have fun, to be happy, to be joyful, to love, to be kind to ourselves and other people. We are, you know, it is okay for you to be happy about existing, just existing, right? It is okay if you get happiness that way. You don't have to have a goal and keep striving towards it and keep racing, you know, in some kind of race to get to somewhere and then you will be happy. Like, that is a reward punishment kind of cycle that you're stuck in, where society might have convinced you, or you're convinced by the surroundings or from what you have observed in the world, that you're only supposed to be happy when you achieve your dreams. And if you're happy right now, it's abnormal, or it's not okay, or you'll get indulgent and you'll get complacent and you won't be able to reach your goals. However, that is not true. I feel like spirit has the opposite message for you. I feel like if you have fun, if you lighten up, if you be happy while you're working, while you do whatever it is that you do, I feel like you're going to achieve a greater success. That is what they're telling me. You're going to achieve a greater success. Now, I just felt called to pick a card from this. Now, I just want to take one. Wow, you have the male principle. Yeah, when I picked this card, I feel like a lot of men are going to watch pile 2. And I was like, okay, no, I don't, I'm not going to say that out loud because I've already mentioned this in my readings. I do not focus on gender, I focus on energy. But I just felt like there's a lot of masculine energy or men that could be watching this reading. A step towards reconciling with the masculine is before you. Okay. You see how he's holding the sword like this, and I feel like your energy is like this, right? And here you have the opposite, which is the card that is falls below the King of Swords, where you have the hands like this. And I feel like there is something about you giving your masculine energy in some way. So fun fact about masculine energy or men love to be of service. Men actually want validation and love from the feminine figures in their life, whether it's your wife or your daughter or your girlfriend or your mother. You know, you want them to look at you and be like, oh, this is my son, this is my husband, I'm so proud of him, I'm so happy with him, you know, he keeps me safe, he keeps me protected. And I feel like maybe you had your masculine energy wounded because the feminine energy in the world is wounded, and the feminine energy has trouble being vulnerable, and you could have tried to step in and try to protect someone. I feel like it's your girlfriend. I feel like it's a feminine energy that you try to be there for, but I felt like she pushed you away somehow. She might have what is that? What walls? She might have erected walls to keep you away or far, so that she's not vulnerable in front of you. And you're like, I would never take advantage, like you can take my energy. And I feel like that's made you a little, your energy used to be like this, but then that's made you a little bit like, okay, I'm gonna hold my energy, because hurt people hurt other people, right? So because the feminine energy is wounded in the world, and for some feminine energies or for some women, it is difficult to trust a man because men have let them down infinitely and continuously. It can be hard to trust men. I do know it's not your fault. I'm not saying that it's your fault. It is not. But I'm just telling you the bigger picture. Yeah, let me pick out some tarot cards. What do we have here? Main character energy, please. Okay. 2 cards only. Okay. What did I say about? So you did suffer a heartbreak. You did go through something painful, something life-changing kind of painful. Like this was immense. This was immense pain. Look at this card. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. I feel like you saw so much beauty in this person. You saw a lot of beauty. Okay, so wait a second. I do get it. I do get what's happening now. So I asked them your main character energy, and I was like, why are you taking me into the relationship of pile number 2 and like what's happening? So this heartbreak affected you a lot because we have swords. Like all your tarot cards are sword suit. And I feel like for you, you have become what's the word for it? You've become aloof. I already said that. There's a distant. You've become like you're trying to keep distance from people so as to avoid getting hurt, but that's just a strategy that you're using. I do feel like your self-esteem has taken a hit that you don't trust yourself anymore, or if you are blaming yourself, pile number 2, listen to me. And if you are a man and you resonate with this reading, listen to me. First of all, this is not your fault, okay? So that is why they wanted me to explain this whole dynamic of feminine masculine energy, wounded feminine energy, and wounded masculine energy. So because it is not your fault, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. You offered your love just like anybody with an open heart would, and you didn't do anything wrong, okay? So please do not think of this past situation and experience as like, okay, I opened my heart and that's why I got hurt. That's not true, because hurt people always hurt other people. It doesn't matter whether your heart is open or closed, they are always going to hurt people because they are hurt inside. So that's what's up. Please do not lower your self-esteem because this woman left you, or this woman is toxic, or this woman is not in your life anymore. Please do not feel like it's a loss, because I don't think this feminine energy is honestly meant to be. I don't see her in your life path potential. I don't see her with you. Like, I don't see a long-term life with her, yours. So there's definitely some other person that's coming in. With the Ace of Swords here, I feel like you're overthinking and kind of just blaming yourself and being like, oh, it's all my fault and I did this, and you're slipping into this self-hatred cycle. Wait a second, stop, okay? Let this reading stop, okay? You are the main character. We have the king and the male principle. Like, what? You're perfect. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're good enough, okay? So that is what Spirit wants you to know. I want to pick out just 2 more cards. 2 more cards, please. For main character, energy. This one. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah, somebody rejected your love proposal. 4 of Swords reversed. And your peace is gone now. You are having trouble sleeping. How can you tap into your main character energy? You were not meant to give your cup to that person. When I say cups usually talks about feelings, right? When you extend a love proposal, it's almost like you're giving that person your heart, and then your heart got stabbed like this, and then you're like, okay, I'm never going to give my heart to anyone else. I'm just going to hold it to myself, like this king here, right? Hold it to myself and never give it to anybody else. But I feel like to step into your main character energy, like you are meant to be, if you are a man watching this and you have masculine energy, I mean, of course you do if you're a man watching this, but I feel like you know how bears are, right? So bears have this interesting I won't say bears have an interesting perception, that's not accurate, but we have an interesting perception about bears. Some people love them because they're so huge and like cuddly, and then some people will be like, no, they are not cuddly, what are you talking about, that's so dangerous, they could kill you, you know. But they don't target animals and human beings that are already dead. So if you stop your breathing and pretend that you're dead, the bear won't harm you, they'll just leave you, right? And I feel like for you have to step out of your wounded masculine into your healthy masculine energy and healthy expression of your masculine energy. So you need a person, or if you are straight and you're attracted to women or feminine energy, then you need a feminine energy that is not wounded, so that you are able to be fully into your masculine energy. Not saying that you should control women or like you should expect women to be a certain way or whatever, but I'm just saying that you will need somebody who's supportive of you, and it's okay for you to ask for that and look for that, and that if you don't find it, you don't have to propose, basically. Like, you don't have to offer your heart to them. Be careful of your heart. It's okay for you to be careful of your heart, because you're not supposed to just give it away to anybody. because every single person that you meet might not have the best intentions for you. I'm sensing a certain dangerous kind of energy. Are you in danger? Pile number 2. Some kind of danger. Like, is there a person who is holding on to you or trying to trap you, trying to harm you, trying to... I feel a certain fear as I even articulating that. I feel a certain fear. This energy is inciting a certain fear. So if you are not a man watching this, and you're a woman and you are attracted to pile number 2 and you're still watching, then Spirit is asking me to tell you that you have a toxic masculine in your life. Now, I am not fond of that term, but it is a popular term. If you look it up, you'll know what it means. You have a toxic person who is a man, or a toxic person who has masculine energy in your life. And they are trying to shun your heart. They are trying to dim your heart. It's like I'm literally seeing your heart is this big, right? Let's say your heart is this big, and they're just trying to like this. I don't know how they're doing this. Like, they could be using some very specific tactics of control, gaslighting, breadcrumbing, but it's so specific. It's like they you know, you're a good person and you love people, and it's like they want to hurt you and break you so that you become like them. And when you become like them, you don't give your love easily, right? You also hurt other people. You become parasitic. And that is what they want. Like, it's like a reaffirming of their own self-concept. Like, oh, look at you. You became like me. So you're not good anymore. You know, you're ruined now. I hope you understood that, because that was so specific. This is a classic trait of narcissists, right? And I'm being taken to this anime called Monster. Now, this is a Japanese animated series, right? And it has about like 50-70 episodes something. And there's this the main character is actually a doctor, right? Now, one day he's absolutely tired of the politics that goes on behind the scenes, and how the doctors in the hospital are elected to be in powerful positions, like the chairman or director of hospital and like that. And there's a lot of politics going on, and you have to take orders from your superior if you want to get ahead in the hierarchy, right? And he's absolutely tired of it. He's like, we are doctors, this is not our job. And what happens is that one day there's a kid that comes in, and he comes in first, and he has a gunshot to his head, right? And he's one of the most amazing neurosurgeons, this Kenzo Tenma guy, who's the main character. The reason why I'm telling you the story, I'm going to tell you. Just hold on. So what happens is that there's another patient that comes in who's like a relative of some powerful family or whatever, and he gets orders that he has to operate the surgery on the second person first and not the child. And he's like, the child is going to die if we don't start the surgery in 2 minutes. He's going to die. And he chooses to save the life of the child. And what happens is that the child actually turns out to be a serial killer. Yes. And this is actually like a twist in the series. Like, wait a second, I did a good deed. The doctor did a good deed. But I am suffering consequences. And you see the whole journey of him evolving. And in the end, spoiler alert, okay, if you're going to watch this, just skip like 10-20 seconds ahead, okay? It's a really interesting animated series. I really highly recommend it. What happens in the end is that this child, actually, his name is Johann Liebert, and he is the main antagonist of the series, right? I don't want to call him villain, but he's the main antagonist in the series. And what he does in the end is he tries to kill him all the time throughout the series. And in the end, Tenma, who's the doctor, actually gets the opportunity to kill him. And he puts his gun down willingly. And that's when he realizes that Johann has actually lost. Because now his philosophy is actually neglified because it's actually like cancelled out. His philosophy is actually cancelled out that if you do harm to someone, the person who's in front of you is also going to do harm to you. Because Tenma refuses to kill him, he realizes, okay, wait, I am wrong here and I should not be killing people. And yeah, we realize that he changed the way he lived, the main antagonist. So the reason why I wanted to tell you that it's not a small story, but I wanted to tell you that story is because Spirit is asking you to kind of walk away. Because if you don't, you're just going to get further and further entangled in this past situation, as I'm sensing here. So it's very important for you to walk away if you want to step into your main character energy, right? And lighten up, breathe through the tension. Life is going to get better. It's not going to be as heavy as you feel it, or as it has been up until now. It's not going to be like that, but you need to take the steps, and you need to tell the universe, and you need to make those choices in order to let the universe know that yes, you're ready for better things, you're ready for better people to treat you better, because you do deserve better. So yeah, that's what it is. The reason why I mentioned that story is because what Johann wanted to do was get the doctor himself to kill him, and not anybody else, right? So he would not allow himself to get killed by anybody else. Like, he waited for the doctor himself to kill him, because then if the doctor kills him, the doctor will have an immense guilt all his life, and he will suffer all his life, right? And Johann just wanted to know, like, what choice is a doctor going to make? A person who's literally supposed to save lives as their profession. What is a person like that going to do? When a person like that is pushed to the limit, when a person like that is pushed to a corner, what is this person going to do? And he maintains his integrity, he maintains his values. He says, I am a doctor, I save lives. Even in the end, even after being pushed to the limit, he says, I am a doctor, I save lives. My job is not to take or murder lives, my job is just to save lives. Yeah. So that's one of the most beautiful stories I have seen in an animated series, an animated version. It's so beautiful, and it's so heart-touching, and it's very real and raw and honest, and there's no sugarcoating. If you're going to watch this series, the story will pick up after like 20-25 episodes, so you're going to have to be patient, because at first it's not going to make sense as to where all of this is going. Like, why do we have so many people and all of this? It's not going to make sense, but it will. So that's it for your reading, I think. I don't have anything else to say. I thank you so much for stopping by and listening to me. If you like the reading, please consider liking, subscribing. Let me know if you have any reading requests you would like to make. And I have opened my personal readings, so you can book a personal reading with me or a private reading with me. You can just email me at mystiquetarot28@gmail.com. So yeah, that's how you book a personal reading with me, and I'll see you in my next reading. If not, I thank you for watching this one. Bye. Hello and welcome, my loves. If you chose pile number 3, hello and welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading. You chose the Knight of Wands. Let's get into your main character energy. I'm excited for you. I'm excited. Focus, focus, please. Why is it so bright here? Okay, yeah, much better. So I'm gonna start with picking out some oracle cards first instead of tarot, because I just have this feeling like the collective that is on my channel is highly spiritual, and I have to pick out a lot more oracle cards, because oracle cards function as more, you know, it's more spiritual guidance, whereas tarot is so much more structured. Like, it talks about specific scenarios like conflict or love or a breakup. Like, it's very specific. But with oracle cards, it's like only spiritual information. And I was told to use an oracle deck first, so even though I did pick out these cards from a tarot deck. So we have reveal what needs to be seen, last quarter moon in Scorpio. I feel like this is you. Do you hide behind a veil, pile number 3? I feel like you hide behind a veil. I was going to pick cards, but then I was like, just told me to kind of flip the deck, and I feel like it's like a part of you is hidden, you know. During the new moon, the moon doesn't disappear from the sky. Like, the moon does not cease to exist. It's just not visible because there is no light reaching it. And I'm being taken to that dark side of the moon. Like, you could be Scorpio, you don't have to be. You could be Plutonic 8th house kind of energy. You could be Lilith energy. I'm seeing MC, which is the 10th house in astrology. You don't have to know what that means. If you don't know, it's fine. Like, you can just listen to me. I am feeling that you keep a part of yourself hidden from the world. I am not having any trouble getting in your energy whatsoever. So I feel like you're not hiding your energy from me, or, you know, it's not like you're not allowing me to read your energy. You are. But it's just like so do you know this South Korean music band called BTS? They're very popular right now, and one of the members of the band, who's a very talented rapper, singer, producer and songwriter, called 𝓱𝑒, and he once said, which is like iconic in the army fandom, he once said, I want to be a stone. Because there are so many ups and downs in life that he gets tired, and like a stone just gets to be still, right? A stone doesn't walk, a stone doesn't talk, a stone doesn't have to go and earn money. Like, life is peaceful, you know. And I feel like you could be those people. You could be people like that who would be like, yeah, maybe being a stone sounds like a good idea, something like that. Or being still sounds like a good idea. So I feel like your main character energy is actually the opposite, because we have the Knight of Wands here. But I feel like when you are still, you are most dynamic, because you cannot have dynamism without stillness. If you're just working all the time and in movement all the time, and you don't take the time to stop and breathe, you get exhausted, you get burnt out very quickly. So you need to take rest, and rest is actually productivity, because rest will allow you to finish tasks quicker, smarter, sharper, right? So I always see rest as part of productivity, because rest is so important. It is just as important as working. And yeah, I don't want to be like a victim of this toxic productivity thing where I just keep working all the time, and my mental health and physical health suffers because of it. You could be somebody who is toxically productive, like, or productive to the point that it's toxic. Like, you work so hard that you might not sleep till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore, because it takes a toll on my health. So yeah, let's pick out your tarot cards. Main character energy, please. Very clear. Yeah, so clear. Thank you, pile number 3. I'm not having trouble at all reading your energy. Thank you. That means you trust me. Like, it's not always conscious. Like, it's not like somebody will try to keep me out of their energy, or try to keep tarot readers out of their energy, but it's more unintentional. Like, if you don't want somebody to read for you, then the reader is going to have trouble. But I just feel like I'm reading water, you know, which is so easy for me because I'm an intuitive artist. So you guys saw me shuffle. Like, did I pick out, like, what happened? What happened? We have the same card here. And we have Scorpio, Cancer, Scorpio. So that is why I felt like I feel like when I read your energy, I feel like I'm reading water. I'm being told that you need to embrace, like, the water energy. You have a good mastery over water energy. Okay, now what I mean by this is, when we talk about water signs like Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, these signs, people that have these signs are actually very gifted psychically. They are very empathetic naturally. They are very soft spoken. They are usually introverted. Don't have to be. They can usually sense what is going on under the surface. They are very sensitive to the subconscious, to the unconscious. they are also very psychically intuitive. So you could also be psychic in your own way. So I'm feeling like you have a good mastery over the evolved version of a water sign. Like an unevolved version of a water sign is manipulative, gaslighting, blaming other people, victimizing themselves. And then the evolved version is somebody who's compassionate, has been through a lot, but is trying their best to be a light for other people, you know. And with the card relax being here, I was also told you need to relax. Like, this is another confirmation, and it just confirmed what I was saying. I love it when a cards do that. Like, I did shuffle the deck and this card came out again, so I feel like the messages that I gave you in the beginning were really, really important messages that you needed to hear at this time. And with the release your blocks, I feel like you don't have a block per se, but I'm just sensing that this is a past. Like, you don't have a block per se, but there is something who's trying to hold you back, or some past, or maybe you have some obligations or responsibilities and you feel like that's what's holding you back, and Spirit is saying release them. So this is a call from Spirit to step more into like a fire energy than a water energy. It's like Spirit is saying you've mastered the water energy, you are gifted, like you know how to use water energy to your benefit. It is now time to tap into the gifts of what the fire energy has to offer. So fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Now Aries people have don't know why it's getting so dark, but let me just, yeah, it started raining outside, you guys. I'm so sorry, it's really dark in here. But I'm feeling that Spirit is saying, where was I? Spirit is saying that you have a mastery over the water energy, right? You're compassionate, you're beautiful, you're empathetic, you are so understanding. You know how to hold a safe space for someone. You know how to be a safe container for pain for other people so that they can go through it and you kind of don't get affected by it, but you help them through it. Like, you are really evolved. You are really a master of water energy, because I feel like you're kind of born with this, or you learned this. But now they're saying, listen, it's time to step into your fire energy and the gifts of the fire energy. So Aries people, as I was saying, Aries people have a very set, they have a set way of being, right? They are not people who will change themselves for other people. So I feel like you need to embrace that quality. Like, what are the qualities of a, in fact, you should do this exercise. Just take out a notebook, and what are the best qualities of fire signs, and just take the best qualities that you would like from each of the signs, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and just write them down, right? So Sagittarius peoples are usually known for being extremely optimistic. They love traveling, meeting new people. They are quite extroverted. And so write all of that down, right? Like stepping out of your comfort zone. And because water energy is the exact opposite of fire energy, in the beginning you're going to have some kind of problem. But I feel like you are not here to be a master of one element. I'm saying for you specifically, you're here to be a master of at least like 2-3 elements, more than 2 for sure, or 2. So they're saying that it's time to step into your fire energy. Now this might not be true for everyone. I just felt this, like for some of you, only for some of you, if this is not resonating, you can click off. Maybe your pile number 3 is not meant for you. But I just felt like there was somebody here who might get uncomfortable with listening to this, because it really might be difficult for you to be confident or be extroverted, or the idea of like talking to strangers makes you so nervous. And yeah, you can turn this off. Like, I don't want this to be, I'm not here to force you to do something that you don't want to do, okay? Spirit is not here for that. I am just communicating what I'm seeing and what I am sensing from your energy. Very lovely energy, honestly. Very lovely energy. I am getting a lot of information from these cards still, so I won't pick out new ones. But here I just saw your solar plexus chakra, and solar plexus chakra is all about allowing yourself to feel pleasure, allowing yourself to feel good about yourself. So I feel like what you need to work on is not giving to other people or being safe space for other people. You've already done that. You've mastered that. It's being a safe space for yourself. It's pouring all of that love into yourself. I feel like you could struggle with self-love or taking yourself as a part of yourself. Like, you might not be as kind to yourself as you are to your friend. You might not be as gentle and loving to yourself as you are with a family member. And that's exactly how you need to treat yourself. As if, like, how would you treat a family member, right? If somebody came to you and they were like, I'm in so much pain, my boyfriend broke up with me, would you force them and be like, okay, just get over it, you know, whatever, it's a breakup, whatever? Like, you're not going to be like that, right? You're going to sit down. You're going to allow them to be in pain, allow them to cry. You're going to, maybe if you can, help them, be there for them as they rediscover themselves, right? Because breakups are really painful, because it's kind of like a separation trauma, like having a piece of your flesh or a body part ripped away from you, and now it's gone and never coming back. And I feel like it's a little bit like that. So you are already a master of water energy. What you need to master now to step into your main character energy is the fire energy. I just want to pick out some more oracle cards and ask Spirit how you can do that. How can they embody the fire energy, please? Okay, I want to take the top one. I'm going to take this one also. I'm not feeling these two. So yeah, look at the... So we have relax here, and it's green, and this is all green, which is the color of the heart chakra. And then we have red. Now red is the color of like Aries people. When I think of Aries, I think red. When I think of Leo, I think yellow. When I think of Pisces, I think like a beautiful shade of blue. So you guys, I just opened my window, but it's still quite dark because it's raining outside and it's like 3 p.m. But yeah, sorry about that. We have purification. Okay, raise your vibrations by caring for your energy. Oh my god, it literally says that. Focus. Raise your vibrations by caring for your energy. Oh my god, there are so many synchronicities in your reading. Pile number 3. You are definitely my soul family. Like, you are definitely not here for the first time. Most of you, I feel like you are not here for the first time. I feel like you already know my energy, and that is why I felt like you were not trying to block me, or because you know that like, you trust me and you like me and you like my reading. So you have the spirit of water. Wow. I did mention return to the source of the feminine for purification, and then you have purification here. Oh my god, you guys. Wow. This is so specifically synchronistic. Like, there are so many synchronicities in this reading itself. First, I turned over the deck, and this was the card, and then I shuffled the deck, and still this card came out. Then I said that you are very hardworking, you need to relax, and this card came out. Then I said you need to like work on your fire energy because you're already master of water energy, and we have spirit of water. And then this card we have literally says purification, which we turned over first, and then we have literally return to the source of feminine for purification right here. Wow, you guys, this is so amazing. I love so many synchronicities. I'm gonna put this here because the light is kind of falling like this. You might not be able to see the cards. Spirit of water. I feel like you need to cleanse your energy or cleanse your aura, because water holds a lot of memory. Now, there was this very interesting research done on water. Like, if you take a glass of water and I feel like somebody did this, they just took like tap water and tried to assess the molecular structure, and then if you take some water in a glass and you say your affirmations to the water, so speak those out loud, like I love myself, I care for myself, I am divine, I am beautiful, I am magnetic, like whatever affirmations you want to do. you can hold the glass of water and then drink it. Like, the molecular structure of the water changes because water has a certain intelligence, right? And I feel like you too are like that. But water also absorbs. Like, if you put in a color, literally, right? You put in a color, the color will just spread in the water. It won't stay in one place, right? Now, I know that that's a very natural thing to happen, but consider this, right? If you put a paint in like a medium like oil, it probably won't spread just like it does in water, right? Like, you understand there's a difference between the density and the viscosity, and water is the only liquid that exists that is as amazing as water. And it's such a unique, we never think about this because we are surrounded by water, right? Like, what's so unique about water? And we never think about it, but water is so unique and beautiful. And I feel like for you, with the spirit of water coming out, I feel like this is the spirit of water coming out to tell you, listen, protect your energy, protect the, I feel like this is your energy, right? And the spirit of water is more like highlighting the fact, more like a god of the water energy that you have, if you will. Don't get scared, but they want to kind of guide you and tell you to protect your energy, because water does absorb a lot, right? So if you are constantly absorbing other people's pain, you can't be there for yourself. So set some boundaries, set some limits for yourself. It's okay for you to do that. The more you purify yourself from all of the negativity from your aura and remove it and give it to spirit, give it to earth to cleanse, to transmute. They'll do it for you. So that's what I'm sensing for you, pile number 3. I just want to pick out one last card on how can they step in their main character energy. Speak your world into being. Wow, of course. Now again, you see, I did say that if you speak like your affirmations to the water, the molecular structure of water changes. So I feel like that's something you really should do. Like, you should try manifestation techniques that include water. If you want to be into this fire energy, you don't have to. I feel like it's completely your choice. We're not here to force you, spirit and me. It's completely your choice. So you can speak yourself into being. So what I mean by this is that if you want to be confident, you just say that, right? I am already confident. I am already amazing. I do not have trouble speaking to people. I do not have trouble embracing my emperor energy. I'm at a loss for words, but you know what I mean. Especially if you speak your words out loud to water, I feel like that's going to have a very powerful effect in your system, because I do feel like you are a water dominant person, even if you don't have water signs or water placements. But I'm feeling that you are somebody who's really sensitive. So I feel like manifestation techniques, affirmation techniques that use water, like baths, showers, long baths, long showers, being under a waterfall, sitting near a lake, all of this is very relaxing, and spirit is asking you to do just that. Like, if you have like a lake or a well or some kind of water body around you, go and sit in that energy, sit with that energy, and ask them to connect you to the water. And there will be some wisdom that wants to come to you, but it's like you have to go to a place. Like, you see how there's a water here as well, and here she's sitting by the ocean and meditating. So I feel like you need to do something like this. Like, you need to go somewhere where there is water, natural water, not tap water, natural water, like a river, a waterfall, a stream, something like that, a lake, or the ocean, or the seashore. You can go there as well. Go there and speak your affirmations. When you drink water, speak your affirmations to it. Go here and meditate, because I feel like the ocean spirit has something to say to you. That was very specific. The ocean spirit was like, we want to say something to pile 3, but they're not telling me what they want to say to you. I feel like they want to keep it between you and them, so they're not telling me. But yeah, please consider going to an ocean or a seashore, because that's what spirit said. Okay, I'm I'm not forcing you to go anywhere, but that's what your spirit guides told me, that they want to connect with you. And I feel like it would be easier if you were near a water body instead of just at home under, like, surrounded with 4 walls. That's what I'm feeling for you, pile number 3. I love you so much, and thank you so much for being part of my journey. If you have been here for a long time, I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. And yeah, I am open for personal reading, so if you want to book a reading with me, you can email me at mystiquetarot28@gmail.com. although most of you might already know because you watch my readings regularly. So thank you so much for all of your support, your kind comments, donations, and trusting me to do your personal readings. I've gotten so many bookings, so thank you so much. I love you as always, and it's an honor for me to do this reading for you. I'll see you in my next reading if you are new, and if not, I thank you for watching this one. As always, I love you. Consider liking, subscribing. Let me know if you have any reading suggestions, and I'll try to do them. Yeah, bye my loves.